Welcome to the Social Chameleon Show, where it's our goal to help you learn, grow, and transform into the person you want to become. Today, what you should know about your money. This is your folks' most requested topic. Here it is. Here it is for you folks to kind of end off the year on. I guess something you can think about going into the next year.
Yeah.
So we'd like to kind of start with capital, your money you're bringing in, and the first topic we'd like to talk about is the Automagic budget.
Automagic.
I can say that correctly.
That's good. Well, I mean, we talked about different strategies and different shows as far as doing all of it, but I think, I mean, obviously it's automatic, but for this case, we're going to call it Automagic because it's basically just, if you don't see it, like, you don't think about it.
Right.
And I know it's kind of hard because especially when you throw around numbers like 10%, in my opinion, anybody can do 10%.
Right.
You know, you bring home $3,000 a month, like $300 a month, you should be able to kind of put that away.
Right.
For whatever the case might be. And once you get in the habit of not seeing that money, then you kind of get used to not having it. It's kind of like if you're an employee, you know, the taxes come out of your paycheck before you actually receive them. Interesting. It's kind of interesting how that works. The government figured this out a long time ago. They're like, you know, we're going to just automatically take it out of their check to make sure that we get paid.
Yep.
And I think it's rather interesting that most people don't do that for themselves, which is just kind of gotta pay yourself first. I know sometimes it's hard to even think about when you pay everybody else and then you're like, I don't got nothing left over. How am I possibly going to pay myself without these people first? It's something you're going to have to start to work at to get in your habit. And then I think, like we talked about, 10% is a good starting point. And you can start to work up. To me, I think the ultimate goal, the stretch goal, would be 20% of your income. Yeah.
People get more radical and they do 50. I've heard of.
Oh, yeah. I've seen 70. I've seen 70. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of 80. But it's all. I think it's all relative. If you're making $1 million a year and you're stashing away 80%, that's still a pretty good life, you know. So.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if you make $20,000 a year, you're putting 80% of that away. Like there's barely anything to live off there. So. Right.
You know. And then so we're talking about and then also trying to get that 5% for investing as a starting point.
Well, I don't know. In my opinion, you need to save some kind of cash first.
Right.
Definitely put some of that 10% away until the old. I gotta be careful how I throw that word around. Old, like, just depends. When I was growing up, they kind of had this thing about 6 months of income. On the side, just in case something happened. Nowadays, I don't necessarily think that's a relevant number. Number one, we have a lot more access to credit in today's world. Number two, we have stuff like unemployment and all that, those kinds of things, food stamps.
Right.
Again, I'm not one to sit here and advocate people abuse the system.
Yes.
But the government does have these things in place that in the event you are in a bad spot, like, hey, look, I just lost my job, you can collect unemployment.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, just kind of depends on where you live and how much money you make.
Yeah.
Here in Hawaii, I know for sure that the cap on unemployment is somewhere around $2,000 a month. So just kind of be aware of what that is. And I'm not saying you don't have to save any money, but I'm just saying when I was growing up, I was told 6 months of your income, that's what you should put away for a rainy day.
Right.
But in reality, in today's world, if unemployment is going to give you money, then you don't necessarily need that. I think 3% in savings for a rainy day is probably more adequate. You can make up for the rest with either credit and or unemployment. And in some places you can even take out, insurance like AFLAC or something like that in the event that something happens. So just be aware of that. You do want to put some away for a rainy day. And on top of that, once that 3 months is put away, you want to start making money off what you have in there. Use your money to make money.
Yes, that's good. I like that. I like to say 3 to 6 months, somewhere in that range, at least 3, If you want to go to 6, go to 6. But once you've got that nest egg, the next step is to stop putting into that fund and start transferring that extra percentage into an investment of some sort.
Right. And that, whether that be, we talked about all this, but we just want to reiterate, this is another topic that's come up. So just get in there, whether you're, or whatever type of investment strategy, create an account. And maybe we can talk about that, is the way that you can set these up. If your employer doesn't allow you to send a certain allotment out to whatever, go to your bank, whatever bank you have. And then number one, make your employer's money a direct deposit.
Yeah.
I know for some people that work for cash out there, that may not be the best thing, may not be an option, but for most people, get direct deposit. Make sure that that deposit goes directly into your account. Then go to your bank and open up a second account. Name it investment account or whatever the case might be, and then have your bank automatically transfer that money into this investment account that you never see.
Yeah. And that's what I do every 2 weeks or whatever it is. I just automatically have that money just transfer from accounts to accounts, and it just goes and spreads on its own. And then other services come in and take money from that account into their thing on their schedule. It's so easy. Like I said, it's simple because you don't have to have the brain power. You don't necessarily have to have the discipline to be, doing it and put that money away, because it happens regardless of your behavior. And that's something that really makes it easy. When you take out the human behavior element out of it, it makes things very easy to do, and you'll just get used to what's left over in your checking account or what's available balance in your credit card, however you want to spend your money.
And that's for sure. And you just kind of got to imagine that. Just, I'm not here to say that money isn't everything, but just kind of imagine that money is what you make it. Money has its purpose in life. And it's, some people say it's the root of all evil. Some people don't necessarily share that opinion. I don't know. It kind of depends on who you ask and what they're asking about. But, money can have many faces, shapes, and forms, or functions in life. What do you think about that, Tyson?
I like to believe money just makes you more of who you already are. I don't think money gets a bad rap, I think, because of what people see people with money doing. But money is just a tool. Money is a thing that you can use to do other things, solve problems, make your life better, help others. It depends on your goals and your things in life. But it just makes you more of what you are. If you're already a generous person, you're gonna be more generous. If you're greedy and self-centered, you're just gonna be more of that. It's a story. It's whatever story you've created around money. That's just gonna be it.
Yeah. And then, this kind of a lot of things too about money is like, some people think that, if you make a lot of money, like that's a bad thing.
No,
that's neither here nor there. Like how much money you bring into you, like money, I think we talk about this, right? Who's got your money? Like it flows around in a circle. Like nobody really like owns money. It's like, it just comes through you. Like the money passes from your employer and into your bank account. And then from there, it goes through you, and then you go to the store. And now the money is at the store. And then that store money goes to their employees, which go into their bank accounts, which they go and pay for other services. Like you kind of got to think of money as like a different thing. Like it's not a physical element it is a physical element, but it's something that can pass from one area to another. It's kind of interesting.
And it's up to you how you want money to flow to and through you. If you want it to flow to you and you want to hoard it and you want to be selfish, that's up to you. That's your story. That's your thing. But money should, in order for money to continuously flow, like water, you stop water, eventually there's nothing on the other end. So to me, the more you let it flow through you and to you and through the next people and more on, the more it's just going to continuously flow like a nice raging river.
Yeah. Yeah. Just this kind of things, I guess we talk about Rich Dad a lot because that's one of our favorite things growing up. We played the Cashflow game. Yeah. For those of you that have either seen it or played it, then you know what we're talking about. For those of you that haven't played it, I don't know. I definitely enjoy playing it. I know it's not for everybody. Yeah. But it kind of teaches you some of these principles about how to budget. Rich Dad has this really good thing about an income, and balance statement versus your assets and liability sheet, and that kind of learning those kinds of things kind of help educate people on like, what's really happening with my paycheck. And, they kind of teach you to get on the whole thing of how to get out of the rat race, which is basically instead of buying doodads, which are things that just take your money away, like this new car, this new watch, the new iPhone X that's coming out now. It's like, dang, I got to have that. Like that just takes money out of your pocket.
Yeah.
But if you can learn to invest and put money into things that are going to give money back to you, then that's the ticket. And that's the way that you get out of the rat race. And those are kind of some sound principles that from that whole rich dad system. Again, we're not endorsing anything, just very good concepts.
It's a good tool. It's a good learning experience with zero impact on your real life, but with real world principles attached to it. You can have that top down view through the game, and you can relate to your life. Like to me, when we play that game, it shows your personality. It shows the things you want to do, and it shows the things, whether you're risk averse or whether you enjoy the doodads or whatever, you don't want to think about it and you don't want to put the mental energy into the budget, into the long-term goals and visions. Like these things start to come out, and it's a game. And then in that safe environment of a board game, now there's a digital version. It shows you like, I've got to change my patterns. I've got to change my habits. I've got to stop being scared or whatever it is with money or with spending or with investing. It's a safe environment to learn these things, find your habits, find your tendencies, find your story around money with no impact on real life.
Yeah.
But
and I also
really
think it helps
your real life.
Yeah, I also think it helps people take like a hard look.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a game and you're like, you get this card in life, it's like, oh, I'm the truck driver. Like it's easy to look at a game card or a scenario of like, oh, this is the truck driver, and like, this is how much money he makes, and it's easier to look at that versus when people look at their own bank accounts. Like,
right.
I don't know anybody who likes to look at their bank account. Like, it's like, hey, let's go take a look at your bank account and let's go over line by line item.
Mm-hmm.
What happened this month? I don't think I've met.
That's what I do.
I don't even think accountants like doing it. Like, yeah, you do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, like where did it's like, where did I spend that $5,000 last month?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
yeah,
strip club,
Nikes.
Yeah, Nikes. Oh, I bought that watch. I bought a Nintendo Switch. Bought Pokemon coins. Like, and you just go down the list of things that are there, and it's like if you go over them, in today's world, money moves so fast. Like you're not even handing cash out to people. Like you're already swiping your card. I know people who are already spending money on Thursday because they got that automatic deposit that they know is going to go in Friday morning, and it's like, okay, that's the speed of money.
Yeah.
If many people don't actually have the grasp and hold to be like, hey, let's take a look at what we're actually spending money on and how can we improve this? How can we better upon this?
Yeah. And it's tough. Humans have a hard time with thoughts out in the future and your future self and these things. But you got to understand that's the reality of it. You're probably going to live to be old. Most of us are lucky enough to definitely live into our 50s and 60s and beyond.
Upwards of 80, 90 now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, things happen, things do happen, but we live in a time where our life expectancy is definitely into the 70s. Majority of us will make it there. And when you're there, you're going to look back and be like, did I need all them Nikes and suck shit now? And it's going to be hard. It's hard for us to look in the future and think that our brains just aren't wired that far, 20, 30, 40 years in the future. I know I have a hard time thinking like I could do a lot. I could do something with this money now, or I know in the future this investment or this thing is going to pan out and I'm going to have a greater opportunity at other things. It's hard to get your mind around that and allow that to be your kind of true north for what I'm doing today. Yes, it's going to be tough to think about in the future. I may not even live that long, but there's other tactics to enjoy life that's not about wasting money and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's a lot of things that are out there as far as the mindset goes and, what you should be doing. But, sitting there and looking at your accounts and going line by line, you know, that kind of helps you understand like what's actually going on, I think. And, you know, if that money's not going where you want it to go, you got to take a look at that.
Yeah.
You know, some people look at their, like, oh, what is this credit card charge here? What is this credit card? Like, I have all these monthly subscriptions to all these services. Like, do I actually use these services, or am I just paying for the privilege of having something that I'm never going to use?
Yep. And the classic example is, you know, people sign up for gym memberships, and it's been 3 years since I walked into a gym, but I'm still paying $29.95 every month because I'm thinking I'm going to go in there and I'm not. You know, and it's painful to cancel it. It's painful to sit there and look at it. There's a lot of those things that happen. And if it takes you calling your credit card company and saying, I lost my credit card and please cancel it immediately, for you to stop those charges and then start to think, okay, which ones do I want to give my new card number to? Am I going to go to LA Fitness? You know, maybe I should spend this $100 or I've been spending a month. I should just go and get a pull-up bar and then start to get into the habit of working out before I sign up for another gym membership. You know,
it's like, I'll just go to the gym so that I can run on a treadmill. Like, maybe you should go run to the park or something. But,
right, exactly.
But in any case, when you start to break down these line items and look at them line by line, it's like, hey, I have this gym membership, but I never go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's like I got two choices. I can either A, start going to the gym, or B, I can take that $100 a month and throw it into my investment account.
Right. Or paying down your debt or something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can deploy those funds in more ways.
You know, and like now that we're talking about investments, you know, basically that's it. You're looking for a return on your investment. So for the basics of investing, you have X amount of dollars, right? Say you have $100. Now, what is the best return that you're going to get on that money? You know, if you're paying $100 in interest on your credit card at 22%, if you pay down your credit card by $100, that return on that investment is 22%.
Yep.
That's 22% that you don't have to pay anymore.
Yep.
So investing can work both ways. You can pay down your debt, or you can try to purchase something that's going to yield a higher investment later. I definitely believe in the latter of the two, which is buying an investment that's going to pay you more later. Because if you pay down debt, yes, it increases your overall income, but it doesn't give you new additional income. So you kind of got to think about that. It's just, it's a little bit difficult to make that transition sometimes when you're so used to just paying down debt so that you can increase the amount of money you save every month versus switching gears into putting money into something that's going to pay you more money.
Right.
There's a big difference on that.
Yeah. So, if you could take $100 and make $150 a month, that you took that $150 and then, or that $50 gain, and you made that your credit card payment, you know, that could be something you use an additional income source to pay your debt down.
Yeah. And those are some of the more advanced strategies that maybe we'll get into in some of the later episodes and stuff. But for right now, we want to focus on the basics. Number one, get those things done automatically. Automatic deposit, and from there, get that automatic payment. And then number two, you got to look at the hardcore numbers and see what's actually happening with your account and how can you change it, you know? And then the third thing is, when you have that automatic money that goes into that investment account, then you need to start putting that towards something, whether it goes to your employer's 401k. I know, what were we talking about? Like, there's a new thing now that people automatically signed up for 401k when they get a job. Is that true?
Right. So what they found is, you know, like I was saying, humans have a hard time with these things. So what's been happening is companies, employers, and programs, or whatever it is, they're automatically opting people into 401k. So there's a base package. So if you if by the end of the month, if you don't say you want out, you're automatically getting enrolled to this base package. And so what that's done is increase people's 401ks, I think by 80% or something along those lines. So now, before, what you had to do was you had to opt into a 401k. Now what they're doing is you have to opt out of a 401k. So, and that takes a lot of the stress off people. People are like, you know, I don't want to deal with this, or whatever it is, your story is that you have. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to decide on a package. I'm just going to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I won't even live that long. I don't need this money or whatever. I'm going to win a lottery, whatever your thought is about why you're not doing it. And, you know, they're taking that friction away. And so, if your company's opting you in, stay in, leave it, maybe take some time on a Saturday to look at what you're opted into. Is there a better package that you would rather be in? Go ahead and switch that out. If your company still is on a opt-in basis and you need to opt in, go to your employer, opt in. I would recommend opting in at the lowest possible thing that they're matching at. So sometimes it's like 3%. Like if you do 1 or 2%, they don't match. But if you do 3% of your pay, we'll match 1 for 1. And then at least start there. If it'd be better if you started at the max. I think most plans max out at about 5%. Match that 5%. You're gonna get used to it, and you're not gonna notice it. And also you can a lot of companies, you can take your raises, either all of it or a portion of your raise, and you can add that to the pot as well, and you're not really gonna miss that as well.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of getting rid of all your raise. I mean, if you get a raise, you should enjoy at least a portion of it.
Yeah.
Definitely don't forget about the emotional investment that you gain from getting a raise. And you want to be working at the job and be like, dang, man, like I'm getting paid the same amount as I did last year, even with this raise, and I'm working harder. Like, sometimes you got to know yourself well enough to be like, maybe I won't put all of my raise away. Maybe I'll just take like maybe 80% or 50% of it and put that away and keep the rest for myself, so I can buy some doodads or something. You gotta keep the emotional side up.
Yeah, do what you need to do. If you get a 5% raise, take whatever 2 or 3%, put it in, add that to your investment, and then take the other few percent and pay some debt down, go have a nice dinner, whatever you want to do with that. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and I think so. And then from there, if you're not into the traditional things, maybe you can, the traditional sense being 401k, maybe you can move on to other traditional things like buying a house. Maybe I do have a bias because I spent a little bit of time as a realtor, but real estate is a slow moving investment, and over time, anybody that's bought a house 20, 30 years from now, the house is usually worth more than they bought it.
Right.
Almost always.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Really good chance that you're going to make something on that in 30 years.
Yeah. Investment. And if anything, you may cut down your living expenses. After 30 years of living in your house, paying your mortgage of $700 or $5,000 or however big a mortgage you got, I don't know who's watching this, but that's a expense that you won't have in 30 years.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay your rent in 30 years. So it's, not only do you have value there, but you also have the chance to save things, or if you rent it out, it could be an additional income source for you. So I like real estate. It's a slow moving thing, and it has a lot of options for you. So
yeah, and there's other things. There's IRAs, individual retirement accounts. You can open up different types of things like that. There's the education savings. I mean, there's tons of different things. You can get a options trading account. You get a stock trading account. You can learn those different things like that. They're very, very easy to set up. They take maybe a minute, 2 minutes, as long as you they have your basic information. Maybe you might have to dig out your social security number or something like that, or your bank account number. But very easy to set up and open.
I think we went over this the other day, right? Like, let me just take. Maybe I'll share my screen, but for those of you listening on the podcast or whatever the case, I'm just going to Schwab.com. It's S is in Sam, C is in Charlie, H is in Hotel, W is in Whiskey, A is in Alpha, B is in Bravo. Schwab.com. And then on the other side, just go ahead and click on, what did we click on last time?
The green button, open an account.
Yeah. So green button right there, just open an account. Like, so easy, too easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah. And then from there, it's just like, choose your account. Brokerage account, retirement account. And most of you will have a retirement account offered with your employer. And then the estate planning account. So you just choose your brokerage account, and then options could pop up. Individual. Maybe should I share this? Is that what I should do?
You can, or I can put it on the screen later in post-production. Up to you.
So I'm just going to share. So
sure.
For those of you looking at our screen, so you can back up here. So anyway,
on the podcast, you guys just scrub ahead in the video until the about 24-minute mark, and you can see this.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just clicking this down, and then here's this orange button here. This is open an account. Go ahead, Click on open it. And so it's talking about brokerage account right here. Click on individual account. Okay. Then from here, trade 3 times a month, whatever. I mean, you want to pick these options. Be careful what you pick. And then see, look, if you don't know what's going on with this and you want to ask questions, there's a big chat right here. Chat now. Hey, how do I do this? What do I sign up for? You got a live chat here. You got a number here you can call. Like, you know, it's not rocket science.
No, it's not any kind of science.
All of your fear about what it is that you do, like here, it takes 10 minutes to open an account. Move to Schwab, and you know, I'm just going through this. First name, put in this information, and just go through the steps.
Click next, and
and just keep going next. Like any type of fears that you have, anything that's out there, like just get out there. I strongly encourage you to get out there. But yeah.
And that's the thing. We just got to start. And if you want to start with something, there's other things too. Like I've heard of like these fractional type things where they like round up your charge to the nearest dollar and then take those few cents and they buy stocks or different things like that. There's lots of different things like this you can do where it's on that automatic mindset against an automatic thing. I buy a cup of coffee for $5.23. The other 70 some odd cents goes into, and I buy a fractional share of Apple stock, whatever it is that's going on. I've heard of fractional Bitcoins you can get with stuff like this. There's fractional real estate you can buy, different things. There's a lot of these little things you can do that are very simple and very automatic. There's no pain to you, and they're going to really add up huge in just a few years.
Yeah, for sure. So just, getting out there, these are the steps that most people take, either start investing and or having their money work for them. But a big part of that is up here. It's in your mind. You got to let your emotions take control and do what it is for you. Like, you can't have that. You got to win the war up here, right? So win the mind thing. And that goes for, like we talked about earlier, some of you may not be able to put away 10%. It's like, oh man, I'd love to put away 10%, but I only make $20,000 a year and I need every dime of that to live my life. Like, if that's your real situation, if that's really where you're at, then you gotta go before this and be like, look, you need a new plan. Whatever that plan is, whatever that, I'm not here to make fun of you or say things in that manner. I'm not trying to say that you have a dead-end job, but it sounds like that job is not serving you in the purpose that you'd like, or your income source or whatever your situation is. Like, don't get me wrong. I know the difference between being broke and the difference between having a poor mindset. Like, there's a lot of people who are broke that don't necessarily have a poor mindset. They just, either they're lacking options or they're lacking courage or whatever the case might be. And I'm here to tell you, man, there's internet. Like, the sky is the limit. Don't doubt yourself. Like, number one, don't doubt yourself. You got to believe in yourself. If you're in this place where you can't put away 10%, work on changing that. I don't know what it is you got to do, but you got to get that in focus that has to change.
Yeah. You got to stop. There's so many things out there. And if you got excuses about things, you can go to the library and use the internet for free. You can go to a lot of these classes for free. You can go on YouTube for free. You can go to almost every major university for free. There's no more excuses. If you need more money, get a raise. Talk to your boss. Raise your skill level. Get new skills. If you got to go back to school, go back to school. There's programs, there's grants, there's millions of dollars every year go unused for grants, scholarships. Because people are too fucking lazy to apply. Too fucking lazy to apply themselves. Now, I'll push that application off till next week. Some shit on Netflix I want to watch.
Yeah.
But you're going to complain about your shitty ass life. It doesn't take that long. It doesn't take a lot of extra effort. But the gain in your lifestyle will be exponential. Not only you, your kids, your family, your friends, their lives will also change just along with yours. There's books. You can go to the library. You can rent the goddamn book for free. There's no excuses. If you literally don't have two nickels to rub together, go to the library, grab a book. It's free.
Yeah. And that's, I can't advocate that enough. It's just for every person, that drive to want to change, that drive to make things happen, or that belief in constant, it's different. And you're going to go through the struggle. The struggle is real. We've all been there. Anyone who's ever accomplished anything has been there.
Yep.
It's just, it seems impossible now, but your imagination or is your limitation, or it's your greatest asset. Don't put limits on yourself that you don't. Most people in this world, they underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. Don't be like everybody else.
And these things also have a lot to do with the story you have around money. It's probably what your parents went through. Maybe they struggled. Maybe they were in the Great Depression, whatever it is that happened. Now these are your stories. Change your story. What's wrong with your impression of money? What's wrong with your view on money? It's not real. Money's a tool. Money can do lots of things. It's your story about money. It's about making money. I come from this neighborhood, or I come from this thing, and I can't do that. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Stop that. Change your story, and you'll change your life. Whatever you think, that's your reality. So understand that. These limitations, barring something physical that you can't, do anything about, these are all in your mind. All your limitations are in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. All the things that we've explained in this video of like how to invest, and like it's not rocket science.
No.
You have 10% of your check go away to another account. That account goes into some type of investment, whether that be a house, whether that be stocks, whether that be a retirement account, and then the process repeats itself. Like that's as simple as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a very simple task. It's all about what you think about it, and how am I going to get myself to stop buying Starbucks every morning?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to get myself to maybe buy a pair of Nikes once a year instead of once a month?
Right.
How is it that I can explain to my friends that I'm driving a Subaru instead of a BMW?
Yeah.
Like, you kind of, you gotta switch gears. If you want to win the long game, always go long.
Yep.
You're doing these short investings. You're living the fast life. That's why they call it the fast life. Yep. Easy come, easy go.
Yep.
But
don't be scared of yourself, guys. A lot of these brokerage accounts and these investment accounts now, they have free training. They're buying up these training companies, and they're giving this stuff to you for free. Don't be scared. Get out there, get this stuff going, get moving. Anything else, Ransom, that we want to touch on this?
No, I think that'll be it for this quick one. We got those. You want to remind people about your giveaways? Yeah,
absolutely. If you've listened to the past few episodes, there is no giveaway. We're done for the year. It's been absolutely a blast giving away. We're switching gears for the holidays all through the rest of November here and into December. We're doing giving back. The other week, me and my son, we went to the local grocery store and we bought 35 bags of pre-packaged food that they went and delivered to the homeless people. It was about $260 in food. We went and we did that donation. I really appreciate everybody that donated to that. Wow. And there's more to come. We're going to keep donating food bags as long as they have them available to bring to the homeless shelter or whatever organization I forgot that they're working with. Coming up here is the next phase that I'm gearing into is for the children's home here in Arizona. There's a children's home up here in Mesa, Sunshine Acres. They're going to be coming out with the wish list for the people that are there, the children that are there. I'm going to be fulfilling those. If you guys would like to help, you guys can head over to the Facebook page, search for Holiday Helper, and you can go in there. You can donate. If not, do something in your neighborhood, do something in your community, whether it's helping a neighbor out, whether it's giving a few dollars or giving a few bit of your time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't even have to involve money. Do something for your fellow human beings and your fellow neighbors. That's what I hope to inspire you folks to do. And with that, for this episode as well, in the show notes, I'm going to link to the past episodes we've done in this subject area so you guys can learn more and have more things. There's resources there. There's books there. The most recent episode we did was 28, which was understanding credit. Go in there. There's tons of resources that I put together. There's books, there's different things. Episode 17, Who's Got My Money, where we talk about more in depth. We talked about earlier how the money cycles, how money works. There's tons of books and resources there for you folks. We've also done episodes 9 and 10 on the book and the concepts of Cashflow Quadrants. Those are 2 episodes or 2-part episodes. There's also a quick 4-minute wrap-up as well, so you can get a brief understanding of Cashflow Quadrants and how they work and where you lie and where you want to be in your life and which quadrant you would like to be in. So go check out those. There's tons of resources in each of those episodes, as well as the episode itself. There's a video and a podcast version for each. So whatever you guys got to do to get that information into your head, it's there for you. There's things there. No more excuses.
Cool. All right. So we got what's next? Challenges?
Yeah. This week's challenge, guys. Listen, sit down on a Saturday or Sunday, whatever. I don't give a shit what it is. Take a hard look at your money, where it's going, your credit card statements, all your bills. What are you doing with it? Take a look at it. It's going to suck for most of you because you don't want to see the reality. Sweeping your problems under the rug is not going to get rid of them. Ignoring your problems is not going to get rid of them. You know, start getting to that 10%. Once you get your nest egg of 3 to 6 months, choose one that works for you or somewhere in between. I don't really give a shit. Just have one of them, at least 3 months, no more than 6. Once you're done with that, start investing that money you were using. And try and get these investments to build so you can start paying down your debt.
Mm-hmm.
And try to get to the 15%. Stretch goal, get to the 20%. Look for these investments, get these things going. Stop bullshitting yourself. Stop sweeping the stuff under the rug. The problems aren't going to go away. That's my challenge. Get it done. We're heading into a new year. Get your life on track.
Nice. Yeah. And as always, with our final thoughts, this show is about awareness. You got to think about, what is money to you, right? What should it be to me? Is it something that I'm scared of? Is it something that I'm throwing around freely and carelessly and not looking or not thinking about what the future holds if I continue that lifestyle? Or is it something that is always going to come to me? It's something that's abundant. And if I learn how to manage it and use it well, it will always flow through me. These are the things that the mind has the power to change anything. So your thoughts about money and what you believe about money, those thoughts come true every day. So be mindful of what those thoughts are.
And if you have a friend or know somebody that needs to change their mindset, needs to change their relationship with money, share this with them. This can help. Don't hoard this information. Share it with people. Spread the word. You get your friend group and your family onto a new level. And check out what we're doing all week long on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast app. Listen to podcast version. I'd really encourage you folks to leave a review, good or bad, I don't care. It does help us reach more amazing people like you. And for past episodes and links to everything we talk about here today, you can visit thesocialchameleon.show. Until next time, keep learning, growing, transforming to the person you want to become.